How can you spot quality ABA in the autism world? Today, we're talking about that. Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Barbera, autism mom, behavior analyst, and best-selling author. Each week, I provide you with some of my ideas about turning things around. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can do that now. So today we're sharing a short excerpt from an interview I did with Dr. Kazemi, who is a behavior analyst, author, expert on leadership within the ABA world. She's even done some consulting with NASA and FEMA. So today we're talking about ABA and how to spot quality services. Looking at a problem, whatever problem is, whether it's an individual with autism or an organization in terms of training or intervention and measuring progress and keeping things going in a positive direction. So how can we tie that into families struggle with finding quote unquote good ABA? And you said like nothing is inherently good or bad. And so maybe I'm not even asking the question right, but there are quality issues in ABA across the country and across the world. And so what are your thoughts on that?
I absolutely agree. I think actually an article that really spoke to this issue for me was written by Barbera. I'm happy to give you the link to this article in which she identified that she was a behavior analyst, much like you, and understood the impact of the science and how effective we could be, and then became a parent of a child on the spectrum. And in seeking treatment, because she obviously did not want to be the provider of services for her own child, what that process looked like and how she realized there's just this gap in how services are being provided versus what she was trained to do, what we understand the science may be. And that, she acknowledges that this may not be at all the case across organizations, but that such bad experiences can truly make people have a different perception of what we do as behavior analysts. And it disheartened her as a behavior analyst who knows what we could do. Now, the positive part of this, which I really like that she's done in this article, is she goes on to say that she applied the things that she is familiar with within her home, within her organizational, in the organizations she has access to, which with the settings, and that, she was able to effectively employ and get the right people on board and support services for her child. But I think her story is very telling. And it is absolutely what a lot of our graduates face when we put them out there to become employed. We try to recruit talent, right? And it's not easy. You're dealing with, a shortage of, there's not enough of us as behavior analysts, and there aren't enough programs to produce good behavior analysts in time. So, we have to do some quality control over our graduate programs. But then we graduate them and put them out, and then a good proportion of them are burned out from the systems that they're placed in. And quite often when you ask them what's going on, they'll tell you there's a discrepancy between why they joined the field, which is to be effective agents of change. They wanted to make a difference in families' lives versus what they experience sometimes, which is all the paperwork and administrative and business sides of clinical care. And I think that there is a good proportion of organizations that are doing a wonderful job, and organizations that really need to shape up and do things a little differently. And I think that as a whole, as a field, we're put in a wonderful place when parents and families and individuals provide such feedback to ask ourselves, what the hell are we doing? What's our mission here? Because, I may be crazy, Mary, but I don't think there's a single human being on the face of the planet that says, I'd like to go into autism care, but I'd like to do a subpar job or not, I'm going to not do a great job. No one enters the field, whether you're an investor or you are a clinician or you're administrative care. It doesn't really matter, like no one joins with just this notion of I'm going to do a subpar work or maybe not the best job I can do. I do think that people come to the profession with the intent to do the best that they can. Now, what changes that likely is the contingencies in place. What type of environments are in place? What are the requirements of them? What does insurance require? What's happening within the state regulations? And how do these things interplay with the labor shortage issues we have that may result in not the best type of service? So I want to begin with that because I don't think that I would give up on anyone who's joined the field. I think anyone who's tried to join the field came to us for good reasons, and I'd like to continue to recruit the talented, brilliant individuals who have the heart and care to make a difference in individuals' lives. Human care services is not easy, so I think we should continue to do that. The other thing that I think we can do and need to move toward is putting forward and adopting quality control issues. So most, recently, after doing a lot of my faculty work, after a good 15 years of that work, I've actually joined Behavioral Health Center of Excellence as their chief science officer. This is an accrediting organization, and I'm very passionate about moving toward accreditation because it provides that layer of an outside objective party coming into your organization and looking to see, are you doing what's best practice in the field? If an organization is just doing what insurance companies require of them, they're likely to not meet the best practice in the field because insurance companies don't necessarily know what those are. They don't have the behavior analysts on board necessarily. And even if they do, they don't have the resources to do the type of thorough job we will do as an accrediting body. And we also have actually on our website a page for families, because to me, that's where the difference is going to come, is for a family to be able to say, is this organization providing good services? The first thing that they can do is to distinguish a good service provider from not so good service provider by identifying one that has agreed to put themselves through accreditation. Because that means they have said, yep, I agree to an outside objective party coming in, reviewing to see, do I have the right staff? Do I train my staff well? Do I provide my staff with the type of resources they need to be able to be good care providers? Are they providing safety skills, and are they providing safe and effective care? Are they approaching treatment planning and coordination as we know it in best practices in our field, or are they just doing what they need to get by? We also look to see, do they create feedback systems with their families, and do they implement those, for example, as a part of their service delivery? And most important, I think, to us lately has become this realization that a lot of service providers that are excellent really attend to what the families need at the big picture, the goals they have for their family, and that they coordinate care to get exactly those types of outcomes. They work toward those outcomes and communicate that to the families. And we're very interested in looking to find organizations that are doing excellent care and say, yep, these individuals are, to be able to distinguish good from maybe not so good. Now, that doesn't mean that if someone's not doing so good, we're like, we give up on you. It just does mean to provide resources and supports. It sometimes means that some contingencies have occurred that have made them move away from some of those things. I have yet to find an organization that does not care to make change and does not want to really do a good job. In fact, when we speak to leadership, always people are proud of what they're trying to do. I just think that sometimes, the contingencies don't set them for success. So I feel accreditation and quality controls like that can really help organizations move toward better quality care.
I hope you enjoyed that short excerpt. If you did, I'd love a thumbs up, leave a comment, share it with somebody who might benefit. And for more information about joining our online course and community, where you can learn how to provide good to great ABA if you're a professional, or how to really become the captain of the ship if you're a parent, to either do it on your own or with the help of professionals, you should attend a free workshop and see if my online course is right for you. You can attend a free workshop by going to marybarbera.com/workshops, and I'll see you right here next time.